Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Brad Lee is dropping
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I got a real treat for you. I think you may have heard of him. He's been around a bit. He's coming up like a freaking rock star lately, huh? Michael Ashabi, what's happening?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you having me.
Dude, glad to have you. You're coming through Vegas on your tour, your big tour.
Yes, sir.
You've been what cities did you hit?
So we did Miami, DC, New York City, Chicago, LA, and we just ended off with the last event in Vegas last night.
How was it?
It's an experience, man. You know, being on tour is stressful, and you know, I don't have an assistant, I'll tell you that. So I was, doing everything myself. It's definitely an experience, but it's good to get out there and get your message out there. So that's really what it was about.
So if you guys don't know who he is, dude, he's a serial entrepreneur, author, top-level life and business coach, and owner of True Life Ventures. Now, your story's somewhat unique only because not too long ago you were a broke dick. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Getting ready to freaking pull the plug on life itself.
Yes, sir.
Your chick blew you out, and you were all butthurt and said, this bullshit, and rather than what a lot of people do, which is pull the plug or give up and just stay, bummed out, something sparked in you, and all of a sudden you've turned it around. Now you're wearing gold presidentials. You're helping people make money. You're helping people grow their business. But more importantly, you're really helping people like kind of how to find self-worth.
100%.
Because that's the core of it, yeah?
I mean, look, when I hit that point, and I hit a point where I didn't want to live anymore, what happened internally was I never thought I was going to hit that point. And then telling yourself that you're never going to hit a certain situation in your life, and then you do, you understand what really goes on. And there was actually a quote, and I got to give a shout out to Evan Carmichael for this. He says, your ruin is your gift to give back to the world. So what he means by that is what ruins you and it makes you hit a low point in your life and you get through it is your gift to go seek out other individuals and help them get through it. And when I heard that, that was like...
And it sparked the fuel.
Yes, sir.
So where were you at? What happened? How old were you? Where were you living? What was going on?
So I was 21 when I hit rock bottom. I was living in Vermont, going to school up there. And I was, a college dropout. I was living with my girlfriend at the time, smoking pot, doing drugs, had long hair, pierced nose. If you would have seen me, you'd be like, who the hell is this kid, And it was just like things that were going on in the relationship that I kept brushing under the rug. I was like blinded by love, like they say. So I didn't want to believe what was actually going on.
What was going on?
Oh, you're trying to get juicy here, huh?
Well, what was going on? Like, why'd she blow you out? Because of your long hair and pierced nose, or did she meet you that way?
No, so she did meet me that way.
So she wasn't bummed out that you were smoking weed and hanging out at the house?
No, she was doing the same thing.
Oh, okay.
She was in the, that mindset where I'm going to a real college, you're going to community college. Because I was going to school in Vermont at, the Community College of Vermont, trying to get in-state tuition and then transfer to UVM. So I get a lower rate, And all her friends didn't like me. They were all the fraternity, sorority girls. And I'm here just like, what's up? I'm not going to UVM, but still love you. I want to be around you. But they didn't like me. So they didn't accept me. And I think that she had a lot of influence from her friends going on. So with me, it was more internal. Like, I was only looking for my own validation at the time because I've messed up so many times beforehand that I didn't care what my friends thought about her, but she did. She was going to...
How old was she?
2 years younger than me. So she was 19. I was 21 at the time. And basically, she went to an all-girls private school beforehand. She was a freshman in college, so she didn't experience the things that I have. Beforehand, I lived in California. You know, I moved around a bunch. I experienced a lot more than she has. So I don't hold anything against her, you know, and I'm actually grateful for everything that happened, because if I didn't hit that point, I wouldn't have looked in the mirror and took responsibility for my own life. Because here's a Will Smith thing. He says fault and responsibility do not go together. For example, it might not be your fault that, you know, your girlfriend cheats on you, but it's your responsibility to learn how to deal with that pain and still build a happy life, right?
Sure.
But here's my twist. The only time that fault and responsibility go together is when it comes down to your life. It's your fault where you're at and your responsibility to get where you're going.
That's right. You ain't lying about that. Isn't it pretty simple once you realize it? That's what a lot of times I can't understand why people don't understand how simple that really is.
Because it's the truth. People don't like the truth.
Yeah. So did your girl cheat on you?
I mean, I don't have any actual proof, right? But when you know, you know.
So she did?
I would say so.
That sucks. It happens. It happens to everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it needs to happen, because if it
anybody that thinks it doesn't happen is lying to themselves.
100%.
Yeah, because it's not a matter of, you know, if they've done it. It's a matter of when. Or if the right circumstances floats by, she's buns up and screaming.
So let me give you actually the rundown of what was really going on, okay?
All
I'm
right.
going to give you some juice right now.
Okay.
So not only was it that, you know, I was doing everything for her and, you know, putting her before myself, right? I'll give you a little example of that. For example, I kicked out 3 of my roommates. So I took on more rent so I could actually spend more time with her. I'm a college dropout. How am I getting this money, you know? So I had to do what I had to do.
Which was what? Sell weed?
Yeah, man, you know.
It's legal now.
Now it is. In Vermont it is too. So not only that, I got a dog for her. You know, for her 19th birthday, I got a dog. Luckily, I still have the dog. I was cooking dinner for her every single night. I was on $20 allowance from my parents at the time, right?
Damn, $20 a what?
A day. So I would literally take that money and save it until I can go to the store at night so I can cook dinner for her and put food in front of her face. I would literally go to sleep hungry at times.
Well, that's nice of you.
I went vegan for 8.5 months, man. I like my steaks.
She made you go vegan?
No, but she was a vegan, and I was only on $20 a day, so, you know, I had to do what I had to do, and it was a sacrifice. But here's the thing that I didn't realize. I didn't care about myself. How can I love her if I didn't love myself?
Yeah. Fact. So you eventually obviously learned that. That's the hardest thing for most people to learn.
So even before when we were speaking outside, I didn't even give you what actually happened.
Okay, keep going.
So I'm going to tell you right now, right? So it's a buildup of all these things going on, right? Little thing after little thing, and I'm just brushing it under the rug. I'm like, if you're telling me you love me, you're not going to do this. It got to a point where for a full month straight, I didn't leave my apartment. I got super, super depressed. Stopped talking to my friends, my family. You know, I would literally just sit there, smoke pot, and listen to music. Now, there's actually a saying, and it goes, when you're happy, you enjoy the music. When you're sad, you understand the music. I'm sorry, wait. When you're happy, you enjoy the music. When you're sad, you understand the music, right?
Yeah.
So I thought I caught on to something. I'm sitting there just like mind blown. I'm just like, is the music speaking to me? So it got to a point where I did go crazy. I literally printed out 300 lyrics and analyzed word for word, like every single word, you know? And for a month straight, it was super depressed, and then finally something happened again. Now this is where it gets good. This is that life-changing thing that happened for me. She did something stupid again, and at this point...
Now, when you say did something stupid, you got to elaborate.
It was with... I think it was... you know, I got a gist that something was going on with a guy or something like that. I don't remember at the time. It's 5 years ago.
But you said did something stupid again, so she's been suspect before.
Oh, yeah, bro. 100%.
And you were just ignoring it.
It was suspect for, like, the whole time we were in a relationship, but I just didn't want to believe it.
Well, that's the key right there. Is a lot of people, they have a sneaky suspicion. Then 2 years later, you know, they're like, "I knew it." Well, why can't we recognize it in the beginning?
I think because we want to see the good in people. We want to try to ignore, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Give them the opportunity to show their true colors. Sometimes we let that go on too long.
Yeah, that's cognitive dissonance. You don't want to believe it.
And then that messes up your own self-worth.
Well, that's for damn sure. So she got suspect again.
I got suspect again.
Well, yeah, but she was being suspicious again.
Mm-hmm, correct.
And then what?
So at this point, I just start calling her out on every single thing that she's ever done in the whole entire relationship. So this is like 2 years of stuff built up, you know? And I just see her start bawling like I've never seen her cry before. So, you know, I've never seen her cry like that before. And about 3 months prior to this whole thing happening, I found fresh cuts on her wrist. So she's trying to leave the apartment. I didn't feel comfortable with her leaving because I remembered the cuts, and I was like, you know what, I don't want her to go hurt herself, do something stupid to herself, right? Not only do I care about her, but I also don't want her to go do something stupid and then they come back to me because she's living with me, you know? So I called her mom, got her mom on the phone. As soon as, you know, we're speaking, she grabs the phone out of my hands, runs out of the apartment. Now I know she lies left and right to her parents, so I still didn't feel comfortable. I called the cops. When they got there, she told them that I wouldn't let her leave for 30 minutes, and I got arrested with unlawful restraint. So I spent a night in jail that night, and everything got dropped in court because they saw I was doing the right thing, you know, because I was the one who called. But her family put a restraining order on me for 8.5 months. So I never...
Were you in the stalker mode?
No.
A lot of dudes get in stalker mode.
That's when I was in that I don't want to live anymore mode.
Yeah. Because
I put everything into it, and I felt like I lost everything.
And you were 21?
I was 21, man.
It didn't dawn on you that, like, dude, that's just a blip on the screen?
But here's the thing. Look, I started, you know, experiencing life at a younger age than most people. You know, I started smoking pot in, like, 6th grade. All my friends were always older than me, so I experienced a lot of different things, right? I was getting tired of it. Tired of all the bullshit, going out constantly, doing the same shit over and over again. And I feel like a lot of people don't even realize this, that the weekend thing, it gets old. You're literally having the same conversations to get in the bed with a different girl every single fucking night. It's like, bro, what are you doing with your life? Get up, try new things, right? And it's actually kind of like, it bothers me like when people like consistently do that, because it's like you have so much potential, right? Your potential is your worth, right? So utilize your full potential and go get what you're worth.
I like that one too. What if someone's listening to this and they're in the same exact situation? What would you tell them? Look
in the mirror. Know who you are. Have straight up unconditional love for yourself. You're going to mess up, but learn from those mess ups. Your mess is your message. Your struggle, it's not a struggle if you look at it as a struggle. It's an opportunity. There's no problems in life, only solutions. So it's all how you look at it, because your mind is the one thing that has the true power to make you or break you.
That's a fact. So she was sneaking around again. You caught her. You got a night in jail. You get out of jail. Now there's a restraining order on you. When do you figure it out and say, I guess this is done?
About a month later.
So you were depressed the whole time, not leaving your apartment?
No, at this point, I actually moved back to Jersey to my parents' house. And I didn't leave my room for like a month straight. I would sit there and bawl. Like, no joke, I really had no self-worth at the time.
Yeah, you think without her, you're nothing.
100%.
Yeah.
And
we've all been there.
It wasn't until I heard the words of Eminem that I turned my life around. And he says, now I could have either sat on my ass and pissed and moaned, or take the situation in which I'm in and get up and get my own. And when I heard that, I was looking in the mirror and I was like, okay, look, The one thing that she told me before I went to jail was, you can't have me without money. And that was like, fuck. Like, what do I do? Like, that was the stinger. So when I looked in the mirror, I was realizing that finances were my problem. So what I do, I got up, started working for a tree removal company 6 days a week. First job that I'm actually taking serious, right? I'm a fucking skinny dude, bro. Imagine me picking up I'll get you pictures later. Imagine me picking up 60, 70-pound logs, climbing trees, etc., right? 12-hour days, I would come home and study finance because I needed to fix my finances. Ended up, going to work in New York City at a financial firm, no college degree. That's when I got an opportunity to get connected with a Grant Cardone licensee. And I took that opportunity because at the end of the day, it was more in line with what I wanted to do. Get my message out there and be in the space of entrepreneurs and, people who are in personal growth and development.
So what made you think that? Just you just looking in the mirror and it just snapped?
Think what?
That you can like go out and get a job, start making money and study finances and turn shit around.
Well, I realized, like, why can't I? What's holding me back? The only person that's holding me back is me. Because there were people in worse situations than me that still made it. So why did they make it? And why am I in this, even a better situation than they were? And why can't I make it? And it was only until I took responsibility and looked myself and started being truthful to myself that allowed me to go get it.
So you went and got a job, studied finance, started working in finance in New York. Then what?
Then, I started working with the Grant Cardone licensee, and that's where I really started to learn a lot, not going to lie, about business in general and sales. I knew sales beforehand because my first sales job was at 19 when I was working with my cousin in California. But it wasn't until after I left that I was like, I got to stop doing it for other people and do it for myself. Because I was spending... So when I was working with the licensee, I had a 2-hour drive each way, right? So I was going from New Jersey to Long Island every single day, 7 days a week, working 12 to 15-hour days. So I was sleeping like 3 hours a night and doing it every single night. And I was like, if I'm willing to go all in for someone else, why can't I be all in for myself? That's when I created True Life Ventures. I want to help people get true life results, help them face their own truth, and help them live their true life.
And you've been doing it for a while now?
March 12th is when we launched.
March 12th of this year?
Yes, sir.
And since then, have you helped people?
100%. Here's the thing. I don't even focus on my own results. I focus on their results. That ensures my results.
And True Life Ventures is like a coaching company?
So it's life and business coaching along with company sales training. But then we have other departments as well. So, for example, we have True Life Financial, True Life Entertainment, True Life Media, and then True Life Real Estate.
The sales training. It's funny because the other day I'm trying to figure out, like literally if I'm going to do something, what would it be? Like, what am I good at? And it's life and business and sales.
Well, here's
Same
the thing.
thing.
It is the same thing. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
You have to sell yourself on yourself, and then you have to sell yourself on your business, and then sell other people on yourself.
So you have sales training,
Correct.
that people can buy,
Correct.
and then businesses obviously also.
Yes.
And then when people come to you and they say, "Hey, listen, my life's screwed up. I'm getting a divorce. I'm not getting everything I need." You just kind of coach them one-on-one?
No, so before I even do coaching, I do something called a prep call, which is, it can go anywhere from 12 hours to, I don't know, I've had some take like a month to complete. It's about 30 questions that I have to ask them to really get to know them in order to move forward with coaching them. Because if I don't know the answer to these questions, I won't know the best strategies to actually teach you, right? Because those questions are simple questions, but questions people don't think about yourself. It helps you understand your own thought process, right? Because I won't give you the answer to them. When I ask you them, whatever you give me, I'm constantly reading your facial expressions, listening to your tone, evaluating it to see if it's genuine and it's real. If you don't give me the real answer, I'm going to ask you a different series of questions in order for you to come up with the right answer. But I will never give you the answer. Because if I do, it's going to go in one ear, out the other. But if you come up with the answer yourself, now it's real. You experienced your own thought process. You understand how you think. So what that does is anytime a situation arises, now I know how to go through that process and really create a solution rather than focus on the problem.
What made you write the book Demanding Greatness?
I mean, look, we all have greatness within us. We all have gifts. We all have different situations that allow us to be the best version of ourselves. But it's up to you to go and bring that to the world, right? Because no one else is going to do it for you. And you ever see the canvas with success? It's like the iceberg and success on the top. I use that analogy, right? It's like success on the top, hard work, discipline, late nights is on the bottom. I use the same analogy with greatness. The deeper you go within, the more you can bring out to the world, because you have to really find out who you are and understand yourself. And this is how you do it. Ready? So Will Smith here again. He has a lot of good stuff. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, he does.
He says, love is spelled L-U-V, right? So that means you have to listen, understand, and validate. So when you're doing with another individual, you have to listen to them to have a deep connection, understand them, and validate by responding accordingly. Here's the thing. If you can't do it with yourself, how are you going to do it with another individual? You have to listen to yourself, have a deep, deep connection with yourself so you truly understand what it is you want, who you are, what exactly is going on internal. Everything's an internal game here. And then you validate it by taking the corresponding action. So if you can't do it with yourself, how are you going to do it with another individual?
Makes sense. So what if someone doesn't know how to do it with themselves? Like, listen to myself.
Here's the thing.
What do I say to myself in order to listen to myself?
Ask yourself questions.
What kind of questions?
What's my why? Who am I?
What if they don't know?
Keep thinking. Ask questions more. Because I guarantee you, if you don't know, what's going on is you're asking yourself and then you're coming back to the question later on. Because you can't figure it out at that moment. Really think. And here's a big tip right here. And this is what I do every morning. I also do it once a month for 24 hours straight. The first 3 hours of my day, no external influence. We don't even realize how much influence we have on ourselves from the external, our phones, the music we listen to. Because, for example, what you surround yourself with is what you become, right?
Yep.
So, that's internally as well. What you're taking in, the TV you watch, what you read, the music you listen to. Music's a big one. You know, people don't even realize, like, all this derogatory stuff that they're listening to, they're actually adapting to those habits, right? So the first 3 hours of my day.
That's why I listen to NF. You ever heard NF?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's
Remember
good.
this.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Handouts create lazy people.
Yes, they do.
But no, the first 3 hours of my day, I don't even touch my phones. I keep them to the side of my room. I generate my own thoughts. You win the morning, you win the rest of the day. So I don't let any external influence on my own thoughts. So this way I can actually make sure that I can validate that it is my own thoughts. That allows me to help me understand myself. In the morning, I'm asking myself, what more can I do? What more can I improve on? How can I actually enhance this area? Like, know your strengths, know your weaknesses. Hyper-focus on the strengths, strategize on the weaknesses, and keep yourself accountable. That's what you got to do.
Easier said than done.
100%. But if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. Let's get everybody to do it.
100%.
That's why when you codify or break down the frameworks, it helps other people understand what to do.
Well, here's the thing. This is what you got to do every single morning and every single night. You got to write down your why. Because if you don't know the reason why you're doing something, guess what? That's going to be a push to achieve it. Push, that shit will die out. You need to know why you're doing it, and it has to have a pain point attached to it. So you know where you've been, know where you're going, right?
What if it doesn't? Can you manufacture one? Like coach me for a moment.
Okay.
Ask me questions.
Well, what's your why?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I don't know.
What do you think your why is?
Just to get rich.
Okay, why do you want to get rich?
Because it's fun.
Okay.
It's fun to be rich. And so you can help other people,
here's the thing, right?
solve their problems. Money a lot of times makes a big impact.
100%.
You can give someone all the advice they need, but sometimes, 10, 20 G's will help them a lot more.
Well, here's the thing about money before I go back into the coaching session real quick. Money is just a tool that you could use and leverage in order to get more exposure and get your message out there. That's the only thing I look about it.
That's true.
Look at it. I don't care about money.
Yeah, money is a tool. See, you must be listening to me sometimes because that's what I say.
Oh, bro,
and it's the truth.
To you.
Well, it's the truth. People don't understand that. Money's a tool, and a lot of people save it, and they're like, I'm like, what's the money for it? And they're like, just in case. Well, dude, you have all that money, and you're not using it. It means you're limited, period. Because if you're not using this money, it's technically worthless.
100%.
The question is, are you wasting it? And that's why people are afraid to spend it, because they're afraid to make mistakes, because technically they fear the judgment of others, because technically they don't love themselves enough. They don't value themselves enough.
You ready for this one? This is actually Jay Shetty right here. And he preached it.
Are we sure? I heard that dude like regurgitates everybody else's stuff.
Well, yes.
Of course, doesn't everybody? Like old poor Jay, everybody going to,
Everybody's talking about the same stuff, just in a different way, because you have to be able to, reach a certain audience in different areas, right?
Yeah. It's how you say it that matters.
Because
me and you could say the same thing, and if people heard you and didn't hear me, well, then the way you said it is better.
And plus,
even though it's the same thing.
You might have more of an audience than I do. I might have, a certain demographic on my audience, and you might have a different demographic, So we have to be able to reach those different areas.
So what'd Jay say?
So he actually preaches this off a philosopher named Cooley, and he says, I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am, right? So we live in a perception of ourselves. And why I'm so big on this quote is because obviously I have a sales background, right? So watch this. You're working with a prospect. You get handed an objection. First of all, you created that objection because of your own insecurities, right? So when they pick up that insecurity in your tone, what is tone? It's energy, right? It's the internal energy. It's emotion. They pick up on your emotions when your tone drops. So it's the internal energy coming to the external emotion. So they're picking up on that frequency. So you have to be able to handle yourself in order to handle the quote-unquote objection. It comes down to you. Everything comes down to you, because there's only 5 principles of life, but they all revolve around one thing: you.
Yeah, it always boils down to you at the end of the day.
How you do one thing is how the things around you are going to do things.
Yeah. So keep going.
Which part? Because there's a couple different areas I can go here, because we tracked off a couple questions.
Well, people always get mad because I interrupt, but then I tell them,
no, you're
we're
good.
having a conversation.
You tell me where to go.
Like, sometimes conversations go different directions.
It's all good.
So I was just saying that people fail to act, and they fail to do things mainly because they're fearing the judgment of others. And the reason they fear the judgment of others or need the validation of others is because they don't validate themselves. They don't like themselves. Like, they value your opinion, and they're worried about what you're going to say if they use money and lose it, or try something and it fails. And really, it stops a lot of people from doing anything.
But here's the thing. If you're not failing, you're not trying. And I know that's, so many people would say that. If you're not failing, you're not even trying. So I'd rather go all in and lose publicly than...
I say different right there. You said, if you're not trying, what'd you say? You're not failing if you're not trying?
Yeah, if you're not failing, you're not even trying.
See, now I say different. I say the only time you fail is when you stop trying.
Yep. The only time that you fail is when you completely give up.
Yeah, stop trying. Yep. So you're not failing if you're trying.
Exactly. You just have to take that. It's all a trial and error process. You have to learn from it. You know, you never know. That's why you just got to do, because everybody is making decisions off of, you know, what they think is going to happen, right? By seeing, you know, that person's results, or this happened to this person, so it's going to happen to me. That's assumption. Assumption is going to keep you from the truth. The only way that you actually get true knowledge is by doing. That's why Nike says just do it, because that experience is going to allow you to understand what not to do and then develop on the areas of what you need to do.
Yeah. So go back to coaching me.
Okay. What is your why?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know.
Why?
I've sat there before wondering, what is my why? And all I can think of is I want to be rich.
Why do you want to be rich? I know you said that
because it's fun,
right?
Yeah.
So
like I like nice shit.
I mean, everybody does, but that's just a byproduct of making an impact. It has to be bigger than you.
Well, help me figure out what it is then. What's my why?
So first, it starts with you, and then it has to be bigger than you. So the way I look at the why is, what area of your life was so painful that that personal experience made you want to get away from that?
Yeah, and again, that's another thing. People say, what was it like when you hit rock bottom? I'm like, I haven't really ever hit rock bottom. Someone said, well, weren't you homeless on the beach once? And I said, yeah, but it was the beach. Like it's all perspective. That's all it is.
100%.
I don't look back and think, oh, woe is me. I've never said, you know, one time, you know, I was hit rock bottom. And what's funny is the other day I was talking about smoking crack for 3 days in California. Like you'd think that's rock bottom. I didn't really think it was that rock bottom, but it was definitely a low point for sure. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't really look back and see things as low as rock bottom. I see things as low points. And I've had plenty of low points. So what am I supposed to do? Look at the low point and figure out what was painful? Because I don't really. So I think I mask pain.
But here's the thing:
to save myself.
What you don't face is what you're gonna have problems with.
Yeah, but I'm willing to face it. That's the crazy thing. Like shit.
Well, you're a different story. I mean, you're a different story than most people. Here's the thing: I'm trying to bring this to the general public.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, most people don't know how to handle their emotions.
Or find their why.
Exactly.
Like, because, dude, if you have a why and it's a powerful why, the how figures itself out.
100%. There's a will. When there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, but you know, if you're like me and you can't figure out your why, what do? Pick one?
No. So I will literally just go through a bunch of questions to ask what life events have happened in their life. What are they passionate about? What exactly has gone on in their life that, you know, really influenced what they did next? You know, I have to look at the timeline.
Is there a list of these questions on your website?
No. This is actually a call that, no joke, I have, you know, one of my guys here that has gone through it, and no joke, it's about 25, it can go from 20 to 30 questions depending on, you know, the individual, but I will not expose those questions because
they're your secret sauce.
They're my secret sauce, you know.
See, now everybody's thinking, dude, what are those questions?
But
I want the questions.
Here's the thing. These are the questions that I was asking myself when I was going through all the bullshit. But it is all bullshit. That's what we don't even realize. We're making up all this shit in our head over nothing. Instead of fucking doing, we're sitting there complaining. When you complain, guess what? You become the problem. Focus on the problem, you become the problem. Be a person who creates a solution. Stop looking at everything as a problem and look at it as an opportunity. That's it. What more can I grow from? You know, everything that's an opportunity, it's an opportunity to grow through adversity and really become the greatest version of yourself. That's really what it's about.
So if my girl just left me, how do I?
Get a new one.
Yeah, because it's that easy, isn't it? My dad used to tell me if you miss the 8 o'clock bus, the 8:15 will be here shortly, which he was talking about girls, saying, you know, because, you know, you break up with the girl, you think the world's going to end, and in reality it doesn't. Because if you ask most people, their current girlfriend is always better than their last ones. You've never had someone say, well, I'm with this one. She ain't quite as good as the last one, but it's always better. You seem to be happier. So thank God we broke up, because now I met so-and-so.
Well, perspective.
It's perspective.
Once again, perspective, you know, like, and another thing that you have to realize when you go through that breakup, first of all, what happened in the situation. You have to understand what happened in the situation. How important is that person for you, to you? Like, are you going to fight for it, or are you just going to let it go and not understand what you want in life? And that's a self-worth thing. If you really want something, go after it. Don't, you know, like, obviously don't harass them and stalk them or whatever, and you don't want to do that, but show them that you value them.
Especially if their new boyfriend's a cop. That's when you want to stop stalking immediately.
100%.
Yeah, it's true. So how does somebody build their self-worth?
Intuition, man. Listen to that and follow it.
What if their intuition is, I am a loser, I do suck?
That's
because all of this outside
yeah,
external opinions from people their whole life have them believing it.
That's all external. And here's the thing, because you're around it so much, you're actually believing it. You're telling yourself so much shit that you actually believe that shit. So that's why you have to disengage. And I was actually going into this before. Take 24 hours, completely disengage. Get all the outside noise away from you.
That's
right?
a good one.
Take
It's a good one, because then, you know, you get clear the slate, kind of, so to speak.
Here's what you got to do, though. You got to take 24 hours. You got to go ahead and no electronics, no activity, no books, no...
Almost like meditate.
Yeah. No, just you, a notepad, and your mind. First 4 hours, I'll tell you one thing. You're going to fucking freak out. You're going to be like, holy shit, what do I do? Like, get antsy, right? But we're humans. We adapt, right? So after the first 4 hours, you're going to start to calm down. And this is what you got to do. What is it that I want? Who am I? Things like that. Constantly ask yourself that. There's 3 questions that you should constantly ask all day. What, why, how? What is it that I'm doing? Why is it that, you know, this is important to do? How, and then the how has 2 parts. How is it attached to my overall why? And how am I going to go do it? So that 24 hours, you're really evaluating yourself. You're understanding your own internal thought process. Because, once again, everything's an internal game. So you master the internal, you'll master the external.
And that's ultimately what you did that turned everything around. Now you're an author. You're running around coaching people, making big dough, wearing Rolexes, living life, got a team around you.
Well, here's the thing. This shit, I don't even care about it.
Can I have it then?
No.
Oh.
It's marketing, man.
Is it? Do you think it is?
It is, because obviously, look, I'm trying to get attention. Attention creates revenue, right?
Sure does.
So I need to get the attention from all the flashy bullshit that I really don't give a fuck about. Once I get the attention, I bring the truth to them. But now I have their attention. People don't like the truth, but I already have their attention, so it'll resonate with people whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
It's true, too. I mean, I'm not one that flashes a lot of shit on my social media. I mean, I could, but I don't.
You do a little bit.
No, not really. What do I flash?
The boat. I see you out there on the water sometimes.
It's just a little boat. I'm talking about Ferraris and jets and shit like that.
You got a Rolls Royce, right?
No.
Oh, I thought I saw you in one.
No. I mean, I could have a Rolls Royce, but I don't have one. I have a Ford Raptor.
Okay.
Black Ford Raptor and a Range Rover. And I'm about to pick up another 488 Ferrari, but only because I like them. But you won't see me running around showing it. You might see me in it once in a while. But that shit does work. I can't argue that. You know, it's sad that it works, but it does work. I know someone that will coach people, and they will tell those people to go get a fancy watch and a fancy car, and you'll start getting people's attention, and that attention will convert to revenue. And I'm like thinking, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. So the guy goes and gets a Ferrari, and boom, his business blows up. And he's like, I'm thinking to myself, dude, that's some cheesy ass advice, but it's real advice. That's what's crazy. People do notice that stuff. And not only that, nobody wants to listen to a dude that's unsuccessful.
100%. I mean, here's the thing. The problem with it is that, you know, obviously now you're surrounding yourself with it, right? 99%, I've seen this happen. I know one person off the top of my head, not going to name names. they did that strategy. Guess what? Now it's their reality. They're addicted to it. They're just like, oh shit, I got to get this. I got to post this. They're worried about what other people think about them now.
Yes, there are.
You have to be self-aware and be able to understand marketing and the truth.
Yeah. And the truth is, money.
It's all bullshit.
Money is?
Yep.
Why?
It's fucking paper, bro.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah, it is. But
it's nice to have Rolls Royces.
let me ask you something. Is it going to create fulfillment?
Could. Depends on where you take it.
What's your definition of fulfillment?
Well, it doesn't matter what mine is. It matters what theirs is, because everyone has their own idea.
But here, the fundamentals of fulfillment are all the same.
What are they?
What are you doing? What are you progressing in?
Are you reaching your potential?
Yeah.
Because to me, if someone were to say, what's the one thing that would make people, happy, is
Growth.
Reaching your potential. Yeah, like doing better and better and better and better and better, and constantly, blowing your own mind. Like, man, I didn't think I could do that. Like, accomplishment is fun. It's addicting.
100%.
And if you can get in that routine where you're every day looking to accomplish, and you're just getting addicted to accomplishment, they get more and more and bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, everyone's like, dude, how are you doing this? And really, it boils down to what you're saying. You just, at one point in time, you got to look at yourself and say, what am I capable of? And who am I?
There's one thing that you got to do in that whole process, have self-love.
Well, that's the hard part. Because a lot of people, for years, they've been programmed to not like themselves. And what's funny is they don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's subconscious. And subconscious means below awareness.
This is literally everything I preach to my team constantly.
It's the truth.
The truth,
your
bro.
your team better listen, because it's a fact.
What's your definition of self-love?
I don't really have one. I'd have to think about it. My definition of self-love, just that you trust yourself,
Intuition.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm strong with intuition. Like, I believe if people would listen to their intuition, their lives would improve dramatically.
100%.
When you think someone's a snake, they're probably a snake. When you think you probably shouldn't go, you probably shouldn't go. Like, intuition, if you listen to it, is I think a built-in navigation system.
Definitely.
Most people won't listen to their intuition, because guess what? They listened to it once and it was wrong. So now they rely on that subconscious again, and now all of a sudden everything they think is, oh yeah, I better not. I got hurt once.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than freaking next. That's how I built this company. Dude, I'm telling you, most people would have gave up. I just kept believing that in 90 days everything was going to be different, and that took like 8 years.
Yep.
8 years of 90 days. I only believed it for 90 days. I didn't believe 8 years. I believed 90 days at a time.
I mean, you could always just say it was 90 days and keep that in your perspective.
Well, it was 90 days.
There you go.
It was just like the 700th one. See, if you look down and work your ass off for 90 days, look up and don't have what you tried to get, do it again in 90 days, look up and do it again. And one of those 90 days, you'll get what you want. It may have taken 7 of them, but the 8th one, bam, you got what you want within 90 days, literally.
But you know what that takes, right? Self-love.
Huh?
That's self-love. Right?
Do I accidentally love myself and don't know it?
Well, here's the thing. The definition of self-love is self-discipline. So that means if you truly love yourself, you're going to stay disciplined to do whatever it takes to get the life that you want. If you don't love yourself, if you don't stay disciplined, do you really love yourself?
Not only that, let me tell you something. People are programmed to make you not love yourself. The other day I was looking at a picture I took, because in Halloween I had a makeup artist in here, and I had me look beat up but still rugged and cool. And it's a cool picture. And so I get the picture and I'm like, dude, I look fucking good in this picture. And someone goes, love yourself much? And I go, fuck yeah, I do. Like, what is wrong with liking the way you look in a picture?
Here's the thing.
The society will tell you you're conceited, love yourself much. It's like, fuck yeah, I do. And what's wrong with that? Why can't people just say, yeah, dude, I'm a valuable member of society?
Well, this is what it is. They're projecting their own insecurities on you. They see you happy, so you bring something out in them that they don't like about themselves, that you're confident enough to be happy. So they feel the need to bring you down.
To build them up.
Exactly.
You can't build the highest building in the world by
Gary
tearing
V.
another one down, right?
Gary V.
Was that Gary that said
Yes,
it,
sir.
or did he rehash it?
No, he said that everybody's trying to build the tallest building by tearing everybody else's building down.
Why is that? I like old Gary V.
100%.
A lot of people think I don't because I don't agree with his patience bullshit. But
Speed.
yeah, I mean, dude, you don't want patience. You want to lose patience. You want to freaking go after it with all effort.
I look at it 2 ways. You got to have patience with the process, but be intentional in the process with speed.
Well, what is the definition of patience to you?
Patience means take time to understand and evaluate what is actually going on internally through the process. That's mine.
Incorrect. It's incorrect. You don't get to pick your own definition when society has made one.
That's mine.
The definition of patience is the ability to experience pain and suffering without becoming upset. That's the definition.
Gotcha.
Let's double check.
All right. Fact check.
What's the definition of patience? What's the definition of patience?
The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset.
See?
There you go.
Nobody wants that shit. Why do you want to have that ability?
Well, that's where
I say get upset. Like get pissed off. You don't have what you want. Get pissed off. You're not living up to your potential.
utilize that energy.
Get mad. Like freaking throw the Xbox down. Bust the bong. Get pissed off.
Bro, who even has time for that shit?
Rocket. Well, people that with no self-worth, you know. And not only that, though, it's kind of fun sometimes to sit home, play a little Call of Duty. You know, call that relaxation. I don't mind it. Like, again, people say you got to grind your face off. No, you don't. I don't grind my face off. I spent a lot of chill time, and I'm still doing fine.
Well,
now, could I have done more? Well, sure, I could have done more. I think we can always do more. But the question is what makes you happy, right?
100%.
People say, what's the key to success, Michael? And you know what I tell them? There's no key. It's a combination.
Well, success and failure are not one big event.
It's a combination, and everybody has their own.
Yep.
I can't tell you what success is. You might think getting laid every night's success. I wouldn't.
Hey, if you're happy that way, do you.
And then people say, how do you find happiness? I don't think you find it. I think you choose it. You just choose it. You can be happy or you can be pissed in the same exact situation. And what makes the difference? It's your choice. Like there was 2 kids, one rich, one poor. They put them both in a room full of shit, piled high. They walk in, the rich kid's pissed off his son of like madder than hell. The poor kid's throwing around the shit and playing and happy as can be. They walk in, they ask the rich kid, what's the problem? He says, what do you mean? You put me in a room full of shit. What do you expect? They walked into the poor kid and they said, what are you so happy about? He says, with all this shit, there has to be a pony in here somewhere.
Perspective.
That's all it is. It's a choice, man. And that's another thing people are stopping themselves from doing, are making good choices. I have a saying out here, you can't get rich making poor choices. And every day people are literally making choices that are so insignificant at the time that they don't see the damage they're doing to themselves. Like when I eat a donut, it's just a donut. Well, just because it doesn't make you fat today, do that every day for 6 months and see what happens. It does affect you. Every choice, little insignificant choices, they pile up and affect you. And then that's where those big problems occur. Where if you just master the little decisions, the big ones take care of themselves.
So 2 things. That's just like the gym. You know, same thing. You start working out every day. You don't see things instantly. You don't see the results instantly. It's a buildup. It's a buildup of all the times that you've gone to the gym and worked out, right? But the whole mindset thing is your standards. Your standards will dictate your decisions, those decisions, because your habits are created through your standards, right? So that will dictate your decisions and figure out which way you're going to go in life.
Well, another way to say standards might be beliefs.
Beliefs, yeah.
Yeah, because I believe you get what you're getting because you do what you're doing. You do what you're doing because you believe what you believe.
100%.
So you wake
that
up.
all comes down to one thing.
What?
You.
Well, sure it does. I always tell people, dude, I'm 100% on your wavelength. I say, you want me to introduce you to the person that can make you millions of dollars and solve all your problems? They're like, yeah. I'm like, go into the bathroom,
Look in the mirror.
shut the door, make sure no one else is in there, and look around. You'll see the sumbitch. That's the person. And when you do see the person staring back at you, build a relationship with them. Get to know that individual. Get to love that individual. Make it your best friend, because that's the person that can help you. But you got to love that person. And when someone says, what, you love yourself much? You don't have to be rude about it. You just have to block it out. Absolutely. And the most successful people, I think, in this world, part of success is that internal, value. Because if you don't value yourself and you just got a lot of money, but you don't value yourself, deep down you know you're a scumbag with a lot of money, you're not fulfilled. You're just a rich piece of shit. And dude, those people end up committing suicide, doing crazy things, and then people say, see, money's not everything. Look at that guy. He's got money and he's unhappy. Well, that's because he's a piece of shit. He didn't fix himself. Money doesn't fix you, but money gives you access to the things that will. You know what I mean? Solitude, culture, art, music, counseling, coaching, studies, travel.
I'm gonna bring up 50 Cent real quick.
Go ahead.
You ever heard that line where he goes, damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie, the fuck happened to you? You know that line?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's always the person that you least expect. Reason being is because, look at the popular kid in high school, right? He was constantly accepted, never had to deal with rejection.
Yeah, now he's fat and balding.
Exactly, because once he came to the real world, he didn't know how to deal with that. But that kid who was a reject, if he didn't, if he's still around, because sometimes in the moment it's harder to really understand what's going on, especially at that age.
Yeah.
But if he pushed through it, where is he?
On top.
Right now? On top.
Kicking ass.
Always the
on
person,
my podcast.
Always the person that you least expect, because that person that your expectations set you up for disappointment.
For sure. So True Life Ventures, where's your website? If people are listening to this, they're like, dude, I want this dude's coaching. How do they find you?
TrueLifeVentures-ma.com.
-MA.
Yes, sir.
What's that stand for?
True Life Ventures was already taken by a travel agency, and I was like, great. So MA, Mike Ashabi.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
They call him A-Shap Rocky. No, A-Shab.
Ashab Rocky. Or you can find me on Instagram at Mike Ashabi.
Where?
On Instagram at Mike Ashabi.
At Mike Ashabi. That's ASHABI for those of you that don't know. Where do they get your book?
So if you go onto my website, there will be a link on there that will take you to the webpage, or DM me. I actually respond to everything. I'm not the type that, I'm trying to have engagement with individuals. I want to learn more about people. And I think that's what's really allowed me to really connect with people and really help them, because I play interested, not interesting. I'm not here to just offer people solutions or anything like that. I'm here to really learn about them, see what's going on, what they want out of life, and help them strategize to create what they want. But DM me, I'll send you the link, and I'd love to get connected and learn more about other people and see how we could all grow together.
And you ain't just talking smack. You're already out there doing this. There's people that are winning because they're listening to old A-Shab Rocky. Huh?
Yes, sir.
What about your book?
How to get it?
Are people like loving it?
I mean, I've been getting some feedback. I mean, to tell you the truth, I only saw the actual physical copy like a week and a half ago. And, bro, I was bawling like a little baby. I'll tell you. I'll admit it. It was like pretty, and it was an interesting feeling, like actually seeing it like come to fruition. Like I always saw it on the screen and stuff. But so far I've gotten good feedback. But I hope.
You went with your picture on the cover.
Oh, yeah, bro. All this right here. Come on. People got to.
Because my book's coming out here shortly. I've been pre-orders for a year now. People are like, dude, when's it coming? I said, dude, you pre-ordered it. Like, don't worry about it. It'll get there. Because, I got shit to do. I'm writing the book, and then, I got shit to do, and then I write the book. But it's almost done, and I'm looking at the covers. I got one cover with this rhino, looks all badass, lessons I've learned the hard way so you don't have to. Basically, it's called The Hard Way. But that's what I took that beat-up picture for. you know, so I looked all beat up but still cool and kick ass, like, you know, rich and shit. So I'm like, you know, that's the hard way. He got his ass kicked, but he learned. Because you can learn the hard way, or you can freaking learn from someone who learned the hard way. Like, what do you think's smarter?
Well, here's the thing. Even when you learn from someone that already did it the hard way, you're still going to have to go down the hard way, because there's going to be things that you don't understand from.
Yeah, but not really, dude. There's shortcuts, and you can learn the hard way, or you can learn from someone else who learned the hard way. Like, pay your fucking taxes.
100%.
Okay, there's a lot of people that'll tell you, oh, motherfucker, you better pay your taxes. Well, yeah, that's called, no, I've been paying my taxes. I don't want to learn the hard way.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, but like that's how you learn the hard way. So if people are listening to this, you've already went through the fucking turmoil. I wouldn't say, hey, dude, you got to do it yourself, bro.
No, you don't got to do it yourself like that. I'm talking about, like, you know, obviously when you're learning from them, there's going to be things that you don't pick up right away.
Oh, yeah. You're still going to get some cuts.
Exactly. You got to pay your dues.
You still got to live and experience the shit for yourself.
Exactly.
But if I'm heading over to a certain part of town that you shouldn't be in, and my buddy says, hey, don't go down this road, you know, it's you know, he's been down that road.
I'm going to ask him why.
Well, ask all the questions you like, but I can tell you there are shortcuts in this world, and there is things that you can learn from somebody else. Like, again, I bet you if people read this book that are in your situation, or the one you were in, and, you know, they're sad, they've contemplated suicide, they pick up your book, they realize this dude did it. How did he do it? They read your book, and all of a sudden, dude, yeah, they're going to have their own experiences, but one day someone's going to say, what's your story? And you're going to say, or they're going to say, you know, I was about to pull the plug, you know, and then I read this dude's book. Actually, I was listening to this podcast, #1 podcast on earth.
There you go.
We only got 16 people that haven't heard it. They're somewhere in Zimbabwe. We're looking for them. So if you share this out, maybe we can reach them. But I was listening to this podcast, and this dude, Mike Ashabi, came on. I ordered his book, and frickin' boom, dude, changed my whole life. That shit happens with this podcast. That's what I like about it. I get letters all the time from people saying, dude, that guest you had on, I was, you know, heading down this direction, and boom, you know, it was amazing.
It's the way that they pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you need to be doing these things with people, so this way your audience could hear it from a different light.
That's right.
You know,
and different people.
Exactly.
Because, again, some people look at you and be like, dude, this guy's out there making all this money, coaching people, showing them how to win. He doesn't look like it. You don't look like a, you know, gray-haired, suit-wearing coach.
Bro, I already got gray hair, and yes, I do wear suits. But
you know what I mean? You don't look like that. You look more younger, like, dude, what could he have possibly learned already?
I mean, I'm 25.
A lot of people think you have to be some old gray-haired silver fox to coach people.
Age is just a number.
What if somebody wants to get into the life coaching game? Can you help them?
Yeah, so I do life coaching certifications. You know, once again, just either go to the website or reach out to me on Instagram. I'll even have a conversation with random people. I love talking with people, so I learn more. You know, you don't.
That's because you're new still.
I mean, here's the thing.
Dude, when you're 50, people will be reaching out to you, and you'll be like, fuck off, dude. Read my book.
I have intentional conversations, though. If it's bullshit, I won't do it. But if they're actually asking me for advice, I will give it to them. It's not about the money. It's about making the world a better place.
Like that?
Yes, sir.
Like that sound effect? Dude, the only sound effect you don't want on this show is this one. Nobody wants that one.
Luckily, I didn't get that one.
You got this one. There you go. Folks, listen. Go get his book, Demanding Greatness, at Michael Ashabi on Instagram. You can find his website at truelifeventures-ma.com. Get your shit in order. Get more out of life. Quit sitting around thinking you know everything. And if you don't love yourself, I'd suggest you reach out immediately because, dude, that's the core of it all. That's the basis, what keeps people down. Share this thing out with folks. We're looking for those 16 people in Zimbabwe. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the buttons and whatnot. Hit subscribe and all that shit. And until next time, keep it real.